They say money can't buy happiness. But have you ever been so broke that you couldn't sleep? So broke that even a small expense, like a flat tire, felt like the end of the world? Let me ask you something. Was that happiness? Because it wasn't for me. We like to act as if happiness is all about love, connection, and gratitude. Sure, those things matter deeply. But let's be real. When you can't afford rent, when your fridge is empty, when you're drowning in debt, gratitude doesn't pay the bills, and love doesn't keep the lights on. Money doesn't solve every problem, but it solves a lot of them. And when it's used with purpose, it can do more than just pay bills. It can create freedom, security, and even joy. I didn't always understand this. There was a time in my life when I resented money. I grew up watching people stress over it, fight over it, and sacrifice their happiness just to chase it. I told myself I didn't want to live like that. I convinced myself that money was the root of all problems. But the truth is, I was lying to myself. Because deep down, I wanted what money could bring. I just didn't know how to admit it. Let me tell you a story. There was a point in my life when I was scraping by, paycheck to paycheck. I'd get anxious every time I checked my bank account, hoping I'd have enough to make it through the week. I thought about money constantly, not because I was greedy, but because I was scared. Scared of what would happen if something went wrong. Scared of never having enough. Scared of living the rest of my life feeling stuck. And then something shifted. I started to ask myself, what if money isn't the problem? What if the problem is how we use it, or don't use it? What if, instead of seeing money as an enemy, we saw it as a tool to create stability, to invest in experiences, to help others, and to build a life that feels fulfilling? The first time I had enough money to pay all my bills, without worrying, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. It wasn't about buying fancy clothes or going on expensive vacations. It was about breathing easier, sleeping better, feeling like I could handle whatever life threw at me. And that, right there, was happiness. Not the kind of happiness you put on Instagram, but the quiet, steady kind that comes from knowing a simple fact: you're okay. When I say money buys happiness, I'm not talking about excess. I'm talking about purpose. About using money to solve problems, not create them. About spending on what truly matters, not what looks good to others. It's about giving yourself and the people you love a life that's full of meaning. Think about it. Money can buy time and freedom. It can buy opportunities. It can buy a plane ticket to see the people who matter most. It can buy therapy when you're struggling. It can buy education to help you grow. It can buy a sense of safety that no amount of positive thinking can replace. But here's the catch. Money only buys happiness when you know what happiness means to you. For some people, it's about adventure and exploration. For others, it's about stability and comfort. For me, it's a mix of both. It's the ability to take care of myself and the people I love, while also having the freedom to explore what life has to offer. Here's the truth no one talks about. If you're miserable without money, you'll probably still be miserable with it. Because money can fix your circumstances, but it can't fix your mindset. It can open doors, but you still have to walk through them. It can make life easier, but it can't make you whole. That's why purpose matters. If you're chasing money just to impress others, you'll never feel satisfied. If you're spending it on things that don't align with your values, you'll always feel empty. But if you use it to build a life that reflects who you are and what you care about, it can be a powerful tool for happiness. I've made mistakes with money, I've spent it on things I didn't need, trying to fill a void that couldn't be filled. I've avoided looking at my finances because I didn't want to face the truth. But I've also learned that money doesn't have to control you. You can control it. You can decide what role it plays in your life. And when you use it with intention, it can change everything. We don't like to talk about money. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. It's easier to pretend it doesn't matter. But the truth is, money affects every part of our lives. And the more honest we are about that, the more we can take control of it, rather than letting it control us. So let's stop pretending that money doesn't buy happiness, because it can. Not the kind of happiness that comes from shiny objects and expensive gadgets, but the kind that comes from a feeling of safety, support, and the freedom to live your life on your terms. If you're struggling right now, know this: wanting more doesn't make you greedy. It's not shallow to want stability. It's not wrong to dream of a life where you don't have to stress about money. You deserve that. I believe we all do. The key is to use money with purpose, to invest in what truly matters, to prioritize experiences over things, people over appearances, and meaning over materialism. Ask yourself, what would you do if money wasn't a problem? Who would you help? What would you create? How would you spend your time? Because that's what money is really for, to give you the chance to answer those questions and live by the answers. Thank you for watching. You're not alone in this journey. Remember, happiness isn't about what you have, it's about what you do with it. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Start a conversation about what money really means and how we can use it to build better lives for ourselves and each other. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below to share your thoughts. Keep the conversation going,